Hey yo, peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, man, in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life, man. And welcome back to another week of Just a Thought. You know what I'm saying? And this month, man, this is the month of July, and we are going to be focusing in on the mind. Every show this month will be talking about the mind, how we could be able to reprogram the mind, and also just different things that you could be able to do to add a little bit of just physical things that you could be able to do to be able to help yourself with your mind and being able to just challenge yourself to be able to think moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So this month is strictly about the mind, man. All the episodes will relate back to each other. So at the end of the month, of course, we'll do a recap and we'll be talking about the mind and everything that goes on with it. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. As we always do at this time, I always bring in the intro, the dopest intro in the world. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, man. And we'll be right back with another show of Just a Thought. Let's get it. Successful music career, recording with some. Hey yo, peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just a Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See you soon.
You rise above expectations. Your purpose becomes more demanding. And as your journey continues, you'll eventually rise until you reach the apex. Be the vessel. Live free.
Like we always do at this time, man, we like to be able to start the show off with a little bit of guidance, meditation, clear mind. We're gonna do this stuff, like I said, it's all month. This month is month of the mind. And one of the things that one thing the mind is being able to quiet the mind. And meditation is one of the things that actually help you quiet your mind. So being able to take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break, 2-minute break. Start by doing small breathing patterns into it, and just go spin what you want. You know what I'm saying? Add in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. You know, you will be a meditator that for 30 to an hour long, just sitting. Some of the most relaxing that you can possibly do to quiet that mind. So just listen to the music, breathe. Inhales and exhales. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's an absolute blessing. All right, man. With that being said, man, welcome to another show of Just a Thought, man. And I am your host. I am Jarmel Reese, man. And I'm glad to be able to be with y'all. For real, man. It is always a blessing to be able to be with y'all, to be able to share information. And I just want to thank y'all for always tuning in, man. I've been really getting a really good response for the show. The show is amazing, of course. You know what I'm saying? So just want to tell y'all thank you. So anyway, today is the focus on the mind, and all this month we'll be focusing in on the mind. A lot of the times I don't even think what people even have a recognition of what the mind actually is. So we start with the mind, talking about the mind being an activity and not a thing. It is not a person, place, or a thing. It is an activity. It does things. It moves. It isn't a noun. So you know what I'm saying. You can't put a. It's not an object. It is an activity that is progressively moving through energy. And so, what the mind actually does is it connects you to the actual energy that is going through the universe. So that's why your mind is so important, because people be like, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, because the mind actually puts the body in vibration from the universe. So the message comes from the universe. Oh, matter of fact, sorry. The message comes from the mind. The mind controls the body, as well as the mind can connect to the energy that you need to be able to move in that positive source. So let's just say, if you're sending out signals of saying that we're broke, we have this, we have nothing, we do this, it's going to go straight to the universe. And what that does is it sends a signal out to the universe and tells the universe, okay, we're broke, we don't want to eat, we don't want this, this is what's happening, and we are okay with it. Because that's what the mind does. It gives you, and then it sends a program back to the subconscious. And the subconscious doesn't know the difference. So the subconscious is going to give you anything that you want to be able to give. And it came from the mind. So now we have to be able to slow that activity down of our mind. And nobody teaches us that. So that's what we're going to be doing this month, being able to show you just little things that you could be able to do to slow your mind down. As I said, we started off with meditation. Meditation is one of the things that we can also do, but also watching the things that we are watching play a big factor in our minds. Um, I had my youngest daughter. She was telling me, she was like, "Daddy, I love horror movies. I love horror movies." And I was just like, "Okay, that's pretty cool, super cool, but watch what it is that you're doing and being able to distinguish the difference, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake." And so sometimes people will be like, "Hey, Jamel, you don't watch this, or you don't do this, or you don't do this." It's because, why would I put that type of stuff inside of my mind? I don't want to scare myself. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch things that had a whole murder inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these new movies and these new things that you guys are watching are really explicit. You know what I mean? They leave no room for the imagination to be able to think. You know, back when I was growing up and we were watching movies, we wouldn't see the whole killing. Like, you would be able to see Michael Myers and he'll pull a knife out and he'll be like, ah, and then you'll come back into the jump screen, and then you'll come back and the person's gone. And you had to use your imagination to be able to see that. Now you're being able to see the whole death played out on TV, and you're able to see everything. And what happens is that that particular program actually gets inside of your mind, and now you subconsciously, you get scared a lot. You're always telling people, close your doors, close your windows, close this, do this. Always these different type of fear things that you're living inside of because of the things that you're watching. But you don't think about that, because guess why? You don't believe that that is real, because nobody ever told you how to be able to train the mind. All right. So, yo, check this out, man. This is my boy Earl Nightingale. He's our first video of the day. So check him out, man. And talking about the strangest secret in the world. This is the strangest secret in the world. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows this secret. It's so strange, but it's actually the easiest thing in the world. So check it out, man. It's my man Earl Nightingale. Definitely one of my favorite things that I listen to probably every day. I got addicted to being able to listen to this thing for the first 30 minutes of, even if it's my time when I wake up in the morning, or just 30 minutes of just listening to somebody talk about the mind. So here we go, man.
Tell you about the strangest secret in the world. Some years ago, the late Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Albert Schweitzer was being interviewed in London, and a reporter asked him, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?" And the great doctor was silent a moment, and then he said, "Men simply don't think." It's about this that I want to talk with you. We live today in a golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate to live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of the earth, a land of abundant opportunity for everyone. But do you know what happens? Well, let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65? These 100 men who all start even at the age of 25 believe they're going to be successful. If you ask any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life, that there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, 1 will be rich. 4 will be financially independent. 5 will be broke. Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Now why do so many fail? What has happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What's become of the dreams, the hopes, the plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these men intended to do and what they actually accomplished? When we say about 5% achieve success, we have to define success. And here's the best definition I've ever been able to find. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Rollo May, the distinguished psychiatrist, wrote a wonderful book called Man's Search for Himself. And in this book he says, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. And there you have the trouble today. It's conformity, people acting like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Now think of it. In America right now, there are over 18 million people 65 years of age and older. And most of them are broke. They're dependent on someone else for life's necessities. Now, we learn to read by the time we're 7. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25. Usually by that time, we're not only making a living, we're supporting a family. And yet by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to become financially independent in the richest land that has ever been known. Why? We conform. And the trouble is that we're acting like the wrong percentage group, the 95 who don't succeed. Now, why do these people conform? Well, they really don't know. These people believe that their lives are shaped by circumstances, by things that happen to them, by exterior forces. They're outer-directed people. A survey was made one time that covered a lot of men, working men, and these men were asked, why do you work? Why do you get up in the morning? 19 out of 20 had no idea. If you ask them, they'll say, well, everyone goes to work in the morning, and that's the reason they do it, because everyone else is doing it. Now let's get back to our definition of success. Who succeeds? The only...
Yo, so check this out, man. Let me chime in on this because we need to stop him right there, right? People become successful. First of all, most people don't even know why they're doing what it is that they're doing. Not even thinking about what it is that they're doing. They're just doing it because they see everybody else doing it and it seems like it's the right thing to do. You ever been in a place where you've been like, hey, you come in and you're like, okay, so what are we doing? And then you follow the person that you're closest to because that seems like the right thing to do. And then you follow them and then you find out that you were doing the wrong thing. You don't know what it is that you really want to be doing or what you should be doing because you're not even thinking for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It has became a thing where now it is definitely harder nowadays to even be able to pay attention. It's easily to be distracted because you have a phone inside of your hand, which will be able to take you off into another land. I know sometimes I find myself getting lost while I'm down the shorts, looking at shorts and stuff like that. I'll be sitting around and be like, okay, I'm gonna look at some shorts. And then before I know it, 15 minutes then went by, 20 minutes then went by, and I haven't did any of the things that I wanted to do, but yet I've focused my mind in on other things that don't mean me any good. You know what I'm saying? And that's to show you how fast the mind, how the activity of the mind can be able to be just taken off of its own course all the time. So being able to focus that mind in and being able to lock in on the things that you want, the things that you love, and the things that you're going after is the only key that we could be able to get to. But most people live on earth and never even know how to control the most interesting instrument that we have, which is our mind and our bodies and our spirits. We never learn how to be able to control the human body while we're here. It is the best um It is the best piece of equipment that we have. But yet, if you're a photographer or if you're a chef, you know more about cooking food than you know about the human body or the human mind, which is a really sad thing that we're living like this, because whenever we're knowing more things that are about ourselves outside of ourselves than we even know about ourselves inside of ourselves, that is a problem. We have been taught wrong, and we need to go back to the drawing board. The mind is precious because a man becomes everything that he thinks. In any Bible or any religious type of thing or whatever it is that you're looking for, it always tells you, so a man thinketh, so is he. And so as a man thinketh, so is he. So how the mind is being controlled and how the mind is being used is the most precious key that you could possibly be able to have. And not be able to know how to work this instrument is really crazy. But you'll find out that 95 to 98% of the people in the world don't know how to use it. Matter of fact, they say you got a percentage of people who think they're thinking. You have a percentage of people who, so you have a percentage of people who do think, very small, maybe 2%, 2 to 3% of the world. You have another percentage of the world who think they think. And then you have another percentage of the world who rather die than to ever think. They don't want to think because everything is already set up for them. And if you really think about this auto programming, this autopilot, I'm always talking about the autopilot, and I'm always talking about being on that, because what people don't recognize is that their mind is so set on the things that they're already doing that they don't even realize that they're not even being allowed to think. If you let's really stop and think about this, right? If you're going to do the same thing every day, meaning if you go to work the same route, when you get to work, you go to use the bathroom and you go and get coffee. Then you go in and you go and do whatever it is that from the paperwork from yesterday, you do that. Then you do the same things, you talk to the same people, you gossip to the same people, and then you leave. Understand why I say that this is a problem for the mind. Because you're not having to think. These are things that you can do on autopilot, on replay. You can continue to keep doing those things on replay and think that you're actually living a productive and happy life. And in reality, you are living a life that is on replay. It's like getting up every morning and watching the same show over and over again and never thinking that there's something wrong with it. The problem is that, okay, we may have something switch up in the middle of our day, but then we're good with that. So we feel like we're doing something. And in reality, you're supposed to be growing every day to be able to try to, progress in life, man. That's what life is always about, man. So check this out. We finna bring in our next video, and this is my man Joe Dispenza. He does a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if I'm saying his last name correctly, but very, very, very enlightened brother. And yeah, man, just check him out.
There are three types of stress. There's physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress. Now, physical stress are things like traumas, accidents, injuries, falls. Chemical stress, flus, bacteria, viruses, blood sugar levels, toxins in food. Emotional stress, family tragedy, second mortgages, single parenting, traffic jams. And all of these different stressors, whether they're physical, chemical, or emotional, knock your brain and body out of balance. In fact, the definition of stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of homeostasis. Now, the stress response is what your body innately does to return itself back to order. When you or any organism in nature begins to perceive a danger or a threat in their external environment, they turn on a primitive nervous system called the fight or flight nervous system. And when the person or the organism is perceiving that danger, the body innately begins to mobilize enormous amounts of energy and resources. All of its energy now is being mobilized to be able to adapt to the stress in the environment. So then we begin to tap the body's vital resources so that we can survive the condition in the outer world. All organisms in nature can tolerate short-term stress, whether it's a zebra being chased by a lion or whether it's a pack of coyotes chasing a deer. The moment the organism perceives that danger and switches on that emergency system, there is a rush of adrenaline and a rush of energy, and there is an arousal that takes place in the brain and body. And those chemicals then alter our normal homeostasis. And in that state of survival, we switch on that sympathetic nervous system, or what's called the fight or flight nervous system, and our pupils dilate, our salivary juices shut down. It's not a time to eat. Our heart rate increases, our respiratory rate increases, blood is sent to the extremities, and it's shut down in the internal organs because it's a time to run, it's a time to fight, or it's a time to hide. Now, if the zebra or the deer outrun the predator, 30 minutes later, the stress response begins to switch off, and the body returns back to balance. After there's a stress response, many organisms need to rest and repair because the body has to come back online and regenerate and conserve energy. What if, though, you're being chased by T-Rex and you're turning on that primitive nervous system called the fight or flight nervous system, and the moment you perceive that threat and you're in danger and now you're running from the predator, that's very adaptive. But what if then the predator is waiting outside the cave and waiting for you to go out and get some food? We could say then that your ability to sustain a certain stress response would be extended. But what if it isn't T-Rex outside the cave? What if it's your coworker? What if it's your mother-in-law? What if it's your boss? What if it's traffic? And what was once highly adaptive becomes very maladaptive. Because when you turn on the stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for disease, because no organism can live in emergency mode for an extended period of time. Reason this with me. If you keep mobilizing enormous amounts of energy for some threat in your outer world, there's no energy in your inner world for growth and repair. So think of the sympathetic nervous system as the emergency system that's like the gas pedal in the car. The other nervous system, called the parasympathetic.
Let's stop it right there, man. So I know this is heavy. This is real heavy. But we're going to break this down. So understand that we talk about fight or flight. Fight or flight deals with, of course, with the body and the brain, but the body, the brain, the mind, the activity of where the brain is getting the activity from to be able to cause anything that's going to go on inside of the body, which is the fight or flight response. And most people, so in their mind, things can't always be right. It actually controls their patterns of how they actually live. So let's just say things will be so good, it'll just be good. You'll be having a great time, living it up, and then all of a sudden this person just breaks out and just does something. And you're like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Why was this person acting like this? And it has nothing to do with you. And they start talking about the reasons why this can't happen and why this can't happen. And they start giving you a bunch of different things. They start moving fast or they start doing different things. And it's that dopamine that's going inside their head. They need to be able to release. And what happens over time is that actual feeling becomes a feeling that they actually need inside of their body. It's really crazy that this stuff starts taking over you so much that you need that feeling inside of your body. And when you're not getting that response inside of your body, you don't know how to act. And it's because of a fight or flight response that goes off inside of you because your mind is all over the place. Your mind's like, okay, it's too good. This is too good to be true. Which is really crazy because some people live in the thought process that some things are too good to be true. And when things are going too good, it's a problem. It's a problem. And it goes with the mind. It goes along with the mind and the processing of the mind because it's all over the place. And it's expecting something bad to happen. But what if you could be able to take that same type of energy, and be able to respond in a more positive way? Now you're taking the mind and you're being happy, you're harmonious, you're successful, you're doing the things that you want to do in a more peaceful manner. The problem is that we manifest in fear all the time. We've learned how to be able to manifest in fear and not be able to manifest in peace and bliss. And when we do manifest in peace and bliss, things happen more easier. But in the manifestation of fear, you still get the manifestation because manifestation is manifestation because you're feeding it to the energy, and the energy is going to ultimately give you what you want. But you're going to go through some struggles because that's what you were expecting, because your mind is trained to go through fight or flight. So you don't believe that things start happening until you start having a hard time, until it's rough. Then now you know that you got to continue to move, because some of us like that. We like that stress so much because think about it. You ever got to the last minute of a project? You know that it's due 2 weeks ago. You knew that it was going to be due 2 weeks ago, right? And you have the deadline. Some of us will wait until the day of or 3 days out and be like, oh man, I gotta work on this. But knew we had 2 weeks. We could have did it in 2 days, the first 2 days that we got it. But we'll wait till the last 2 days that we have it, just so we could be able to feel that adrenaline, that pressure. That's the mindset. It's like a kick of drugs. It's basically like a drug. And what we do, we like it, we invite it, we want it, we need it, we want it, we thrive for it. We feel like we'll tell people, man, I'm at my best when I have to wait to the last minute. No, what's happening is that you are in that fight or flight, and that's what you like, that kick, and you like that feeling of being like that. That's what you really like, and that's what you're chasing. You need that high. But I'm telling you, man, you can manifest even more easier and more beautiful when you're not under pressure. You don't have to have a deadline to be able to get things done. You have to have a deadline, but you don't have to be 2 days before the deadline to have to get it done. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be in fight or flight. All right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this month is really going to be precious. We're going to be talking about the mind and how the mind can be able to heal from it. So this week, we're just talking about the fight or flight response, the different things in the activity of the actual mind. Join us next week, man. We'll be back again, and we'll be talking about the mind as well. Continuing our series this month, re-educating our mind. And the main thing that you could be able to do, like I said, man, you could be able to try yoga, meditation, all these things, breathing. They are the most powerful things that we could be able to do to control our mind and to get out of our own heads, man. Because once we get out of our heads and get out of our minds, man, we create a great and beautiful life for ourselves, man, for real. So with that being said, man, this is another week of Just a Thought, man. I am your host, the gracious host of the week, man, your boy, Jarmel Reese. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy, Jarmel Reese, man. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. Yeah. We gonna leave y'all with a video, man. I like this vibe. You know what I'm saying? We just put this video out this week. Hey, Trippy, man, you a fool for this one, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? It's your boy, Jarmel Reese, man. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy, been myself big for y'all can be able to see me though. Hold up. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life, man. Make sure y'all go to jarmelreese.live and be able to go get all the sessions and everything. If you want to be able to donate to me, man, you can cash out me at jarmelreese.live. Also, you could be able to go to 9 collections. Go get the stores, go get the new I Am 9 guides, you know what I'm saying? Go get some new shirts, spiritual advisory, biblical content. You could always be able to purchase these products and all that good stuff, man. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. Yeah, see y'all next week, man. Yeah, I like this vibe. Hey, Trippy, man, you a fool for this one, man. I'm feeling the vibe, man. Yeah. And man, I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, go and get it. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it. I had a kid come and ask me what's my motivation. I told him feed the youth the truth of this corrupted nation. Always keep your business straight and always keep your patience. Now collection dog, I built a brand and formed a corporation. I'm more wiser than the man that I thought I was. At least I was yesterday, I think I thought I was. Hey, do you really question me? I think we question us. So are you really hating me? I think we hating us. Inside, don't know how many nights I cried. From the cell up in my brain, from all the pain I held inside. Now trippy got me out in AZ. I love the weather, the energy's amazing. My chakras coming together. It's nothing more amazing than mind and spirit together. I ain't tripping off yesterday, cause today gon' be mine forever, forever. I'm rapping, boy, you know it's pure purpose. While y'all eat the words of these serpents that's on the surface. I made a history out of shaking these non-believers. Disrespect me, now respect me, expect me like I was Jesus. I'm playing in the game, you playing the commentary. You on the sideline, so I guess it ain't necessary. I'm saying, man, all this unnecessariness. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, hey man, I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, go and get it. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'll move my pivot, baby. I was born to get it.
Yeah. Let me take y'all back to the start of my depression. Not even 7, I was already stressing. Mom chose the drugs, I was left to just question what I did wrong. Why must God teach this lesson? That shit made me strong, I consider it a blessing. I didn't choose to rap, life chose my profession. Now I'm expressing my emotions and transgressions. No more suppressing my feelings of aggression. Yeah, my words are a weapon, so don't you just reject them. I'ma fight for what's right. Yeah, till I'm fucking breathless. Yeah, this world is a mess, and yeah, it's time for us to step in. Everybody living reckless, so you better eat my message.
Come on, come on.
So you better eat my message. Yeah, you better eat my message.
Yeah.
It's trippy.